Hey YouTube, I'm Steven Jengwick, and you're not. Made that reference. This is Strong Dogs. Just got back from vacay. As you can see, tan as hell. Look like I just got done mowing 4 yards and now I'm off to get a Slurpee at 7-Eleven. Arya's a little amped up. We just went out, did a little bit of training. She was napping earlier, but now she's a little wild, so now she's in the crate, so we'll see how well she does while I get through this video. But she actually did a great job. I had a boarder. I told you that, well, like 2 videos ago for the last week. When I went out of town, she stayed at Ed, who I referenced quite a bit in other videos and blogs. He watched her, and had 0 issues, 0 incidents, no PTSD, no remnants or anything. She was a perfect house guest. Yeah, gold stars right across the board for her. Now she's back and she's getting very comfortable being at home again. But I wanted to get through this because she did such a good job, and some of the things that I did to make sure she did a good job while she was being boarded, I thought were pretty relevant. So I went ahead and wrote a blog about it, which is up at strongdogsusa.com. A little plug there. So gonna just hit the bullet points. Just so you guys have it. If you want the long version, go ahead and just read it on the blog. But the biggest ones, and this is, again, I am not inventing anything here. It was just that I just put the time in to make sure she was comfortable with all these before she went. Number 1, experience the environment. Obviously, went out to Ed's a couple of times with her, just so he could see her, but also so she could get comfortable in the environment, the sounds, the smells, other dogs, the sounds and smells of his dogs as well, because he has his own bomb detection dogs that she was in a crate next to. So really made sure she was comfortable in that environment. And when we went there, we didn't really do the classes per se, but we did some training. We did the agility course, the obstacle course a couple of times. So every time we went out there, she had a positive experience. And I did not correct her one time when we were over there on any portion, whether if it was obedience or the agility course. It's a long story, but I'll go ahead and just share it. When I brought Ava out there, and this is why I say make sure it's a positive experience. When I brought Ava out there, Ava had a lot of issues. She was very aggressive towards people and other dogs. So going out there with her first couple of times had some harsh corrections, fair corrections, but they were still kind of on the harsher side. So she kind of associated that with that place and us, people and trainers. Where it got to the point where she was like, walking through a museum with her hands in her pocket, afraid to touch anything and do anything wrong in case she was gonna get popped on the leash. But then when we tried doing bite work, it's kind of like it kind of confused her. It's like, okay, you want me to bite people here, but when I want to, I get popped for it. So it got very confusing, and again, her nervous system and anxiety just was all over the place when she went, and I was very cognizant of that. Whereas I think if it was a slow burn, it would have been a lot better. But we had to do what we had to do because, like I said, Ava had a temperament on her. She was a little spicy, so wanted to make sure we got that taken care of before she even started biting. But because Arya was a brand new dog, clean slate, I just want to make sure she associated the property with nothing but positivity and fun. Because when you can make any environment fun for your dog, it drastically lowers any anxiety or any issues. And then they can just think of it play and off to the races you go, because they're not worried about getting corrections or anything harsh happening. If all they associate is with, hey, I get treats and I get to run around and, jam, cool. I'm okay with going there. Which leads into the second phase, which is like, say, 1A, 1B. She got to know the people. She got to know Ed. She got to know Z, his wife. And I think I mentioned this when first got Arya. She was kind of timid around people, but that went away in about a week and a half because I just kept putting her in other people's hands and getting her comfortable with other people to the point where she has zero, she's not even timid anymore. She's not shy anymore. Now she wants to be a little attention whore. But the fact of the matter is that when I went there, she got to meet the people she was staying with. They got to feed her treats. She got comfortable and relaxed to the point where she went up to them voluntarily, wanting affections and pets and things like that. So rather than going to wherever you're boarding your dog at, take some time, let them get to know the place, have some fun and play ball, tug, do some training if you can, have them meet the people before you go and just drop them off and you leave. Because it's not really fair to the dog. It's kind of, I'll get to this analogy in a second because it was down here and I gotta pat myself on the back for some of these analogies in the blog. I think they're some of my best, just saying. But it's kind of like before you start school, it's like take your kid to meet the teacher. I don't know if they still do that, but the first couple of days is you go and you meet the teacher, get to know your class, where you're gonna be, things like that. It's the same thing for your dog. Let them meet the people who they're staying with. Let them get comfortable with them. Let them get comfortable with the place. So when it's time to go and drop them off, which is an analogy here in a second, they're gonna be a lot more relaxed and a lot more forthcoming and okay with staying there. Number 3, crate train, crate train, crate train. Took a lot of time to get her comfortable in her crate to where she wants to be in it. It's her safe place. Same thing when you're boarding your dog. 95% of the time, they're gonna be in a crate. So the more time and earlier that you start training your dog within the crate, the better the better experience they'll have when you board them. Because if your dog is used to just roaming free in the house, and now you're putting them in a crate for however many hours throughout the day, naturally, you're gonna get stir crazy. You're gonna get a little cabin fever, and that's where they can start chewing on the crate and trying to break out and have accidents inside the crate. But if you do all this stuff at home, then it's just plug and play when you board them, okay? Another one for the crate. I forgot to do this, so I'm calling myself out. Packing familiar items. This way they could at least have something of you around them that calms them down. Traditionally, they, chew on your shoes, shirts, socks, things like that, but part of it is because it has your smell. Right now, Ava just loves to jump on a couch right here. When I do let her out and row free, it's because she sees me and sees my, I don't want to say spunk, but my smell all over the couch, and that's where she wants to just roll, okay? Because I don't have loose items or clothing around the house. But I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people have issues with their dog chewing on socks and shoes. Part of it, yes, it could be teething, but a lot of it is just because they want to be near you. So if you pack familiar items so they can have it inside the crate, t-shirt, chew toys, towel, blanket, whatever, they'll be a lot calmer and have that familiar smell so they could just relax. And again, I'll go ahead and say the analogy. It's like sending a kid to summer camp with a note from mom and a teddy bear that they've had since birth. It might seem small, but emotionally it makes all the difference. And again, I wish I did this, I just forgot. So I'm as human as the next person. Last one, leaving. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just don't, you can train, little kiss on the head, put them inside a crate where they're going, and then just walk out, okay? Don't linger, don't baby talk them. I'm gonna miss you due to it's a long, drawn out thing. And if you do that, especially even at your own house, it can cause separations. I just leave as if it was normal, okay? Again, because for whatever reason, I was in a school mode, I guess, maybe it's back to school mode. Maybe that's why the analogies are all about like kids in school and dropping them off. But I said the analogy is like a parent dropping their kid off at middle school, all the drawn out goodbyes and I love you so much speeches. It's just embarrassing. And in dog's case, it just ramps up their anxiety because they think something is wrong. It's embarrassing. No one wants to see that. No one wants to get all gushy and baby talk. Just, give them a hug, a little training if you want, treat, throw them in, deuces, enjoy your vacation. So that's it. Again, none of this is new, none of it I invented. It's shit you can find all over the internet. But the difference is actually doing it. So hopefully you do it, because it does work. But yeah, because I've boarded my dogs. I've had issues with my dogs, had issues with Ace, I've had him break through crates and shit all over the place. I've had Ava, who's gotten PTSD from fireworks and other things. So yeah, taking your time and really building these fundamentals is huge. So I suggest you go read the full blog, because there are some pro tips, some actionable tips for you that you can go do. Again, this is more of just a Cliff Note version, because I didn't want to ramble too much and make this video too long. But other than that, hopefully this helps, and keep training your dog in every which way you can so they have a good life, good experience, and also gives you time to get a good vacation, and they'll be relaxed and easy. You don't have to worry and have any anxiety because your dog is somewhere where, if you're doing this right, place they've already been. All right, good luck, keep training your dog. Peace.